Hey everyone, today I am taking the time to go over each of the questions in the test review for your test tomorrow on Unit 6. Keep in mind this probably is going to be 2 videos. I don't see how I could go through each question in just 15 minutes, which is how long I have to make a video in. So there will probably be 2 videos, part 1 and part 2. This is part 1. Make sure to try each question before you go over the solution. See if you could do it on your own first, and then see if you got the correct answer. Okay, so take a moment to pause the video and try number 1. Okay, guys, so on problem number 1, keep in mind that you're taking the first set of parentheses and multiplying it with the second set of parentheses. So the numbers in front, the coefficients, they get multiplied, 22. So to me, that means I'm going to go ahead and eliminate answer choice B. Okay. And then we are going to look at the A's. And our rule for this on our formula chart states A to the M times A to the N is equal to A to the M plus N, which means we add the exponents. The numbers in front get multiplied, but the exponents get added. So if I'm looking at A, I'm adding 0 and 13 to get 13. Now I'm going to look at the B's. And so for the B's, we're adding 4 and negative 15. So 4 plus negative 15 is negative 11. And then for the C's, 24 plus 0 is 24. Now your answer isn't done because there is one more rule that we need to use, which states that if you have a negative exponent, you can move it to the denominator to make it positive. So we're going to do that. This one will need to move to the bottom. All the rest of them have positive exponents already. So 22a to the 13th and c to the 24th will remain in the numerator, while b will move to the denominator, and now the exponent is positive, which is answer choice A. Take a moment, pause the video, and try number 2. Okay. In number 2, we have several rules we need to look at. One of them being that if you have an exponent on the outside of the parentheses, okay? So that rule states a to the m raised to the n is equal to the a to the mn, which means that you're multiplying the m and the n together, multiplying the exponents. So when I look at this particular problem, I notice that there's not just one thing in the parentheses though. Each thing has its own exponent, so even the 3. So if you don't see an exponent there, you put a 1. So 3 to the first power, x to the negative second power, and y doesn't have an exponent, so we give it a 1 as well. So now the numerator for now is going to stay the same, 72 x to the 8th, y to the 7th. But my denominator, I'm going to multiply the exponent on the outside to each exponent on the inside. Okay, so 3 to the first power, 1 times 2 is 2, so it's 3 squared. Okay, and 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. So you can see the 3 exponents that are on the inside got multiplied by that 2 on the outside. Another important thing to note, that we can actually determine what 3 squared is. You can type it in your calculator, or you may know it already. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. So I'm going to replace 3 squared with just 9. 3 squared is 9. Now we have one more rule we're going to use here as well, guys. It's the division rule, because that's what a fraction is, division. So if we have a, here's the rule, a to the m divided by a to the n is equal to a to the m minus n, meaning that we subtract the exponents. So the numbers in front are not exponents, are they though? So they don't get subtracted, they get divided. So 72 divided by 9 is 8. Now let's subtract the exponents of the x's. 8 minus negative 4. Not 8 minus 4. 8 minus negative 4. And that is 12, which you can type that in your calculator if you need to do that. And now let's minus the exponents of the y's. So 7 minus 2 is 5. So that is our final answer, 8 x to the 12th, y to the 5th. And you would type that in as a response in Aware. Now take a moment and try question number 3. Pause the video and try number 3. Question number 3 has 2 steps. We'll start with the numerator looks fine, n to the 10th, but the denominator does not because we have parentheses in it. So remember, multiply the parenthesis on the outside or the exponent on the outside to each of the exponents on the inside. So 4 times 3 is 12. Okay. Now we divide, and the division rule says to subtract the exponents. So 10 minus 12 is negative 2. So this is going to be n to the negative second power. And to make it positive, it needs to move to the denominator. So what goes in the top? Well, there was an imaginary 1 here, right? So it stays on top. So subtract the exponents. It's negative, move it to the bottom. What's left up there is the 1 that was in front of it. Take a moment, pause the video, and try number 4. In number 4, we have the same kind of issue. We need to deal with the exponent on the outside first. So we need to multiply the 1/2 and the 8. The x to the 17th will remain the same for now. So we multiply 8 times 1/2, which is 4. Now we're not done. This is the rule for multiplying. When we multiply, the exponents get added. So 17 plus 4 is 21. But that's not the final answer, believe it or not. It looks like it. Most of the time I'd say, okay, that's it. But look at what it says in the problem. X to the p, it's equivalent to x to the p, just like what we got. What is the value of p? So what it really wants is what is the exponent? And the exponent is 21. So the answer is not x to the 21, it is just 21. Pause the video and try number 5 on your own. Remember in this one, guys, we are subtracting the second polynomial from the first, and the first polynomial should remain the same without parentheses now. But the second one has to be multiplied by -1 to each term in the parentheses. -1 times 10 is -10. -1 times -5x squared is positive 5x squared. And -1 times 3x is -3x. So really what happened was all of the signs of these 3 terms all changed. The number itself stayed the same, but the sign of the number changed. Now we combine our like terms. So as you can see, like this is a drag and drop question digitally. So the x squared should go first. We're going to do the x first. Let's see, x squared. So we've got 1x squared. I'll even put a 1 in front of it. 1x squared plus 5x squared is 6x squared. So you would have taken this guy and dragged him in front of the x squared. Okay? Now let's do the x's. We've got 2x minus 3x is -1x. So see how it goes in front of the x. So the -1 will get dragged there in front of the x. And lastly, the constant, we have negative 8 minus 10 is negative 18, and you would drag it there. If you wanted to make it look prettier on paper, it would be 6x squared minus 1x minus 18. But I was just trying to show you that this is a drag and drop. You drag the 6 in front of the x squared, you drag the negative 1 in front of the x, and drag the 18 to where the constant would go. Now pause the video and try number 6. Because this one is a plus in the middle, not minus like the last one, you do not have to distribute anything. We can go ahead and start combining like terms. We're going to do RT first. So 5RT plus 6RT is 11RT. Then we have negative 3RW minus 4RW. Make sure you're including the sign in front of it. Okay. And that is negative 7RW. So I'm going to get rid of that plus, or that's not a plus, sorry, that's a T. I'm going to make it look more like a T. Minus 7RW. And so see, that helps us eliminate some of our answers. Now we know it's not this one or this one. And then our last one we're going to do here is negative 8TW plus 2TW is negative 6TW. Alrighty, take a moment and try number 7. On number 7, this is a multiplying question where you're going to create your box. Please keep in mind that each parenthesis, the 3x and the negative 4 need to be on the same side of the box. If they're in the same parentheses, they need to be on the same side. So 3x minus 4 can go on top, or it can go on the left side of the box. The other parenthesis, x plus 2, I will put on the left side. And then to get each box, you multiply, okay? So 3x times x is 3x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. 3x times 2 is 6x. And negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So firstly, they all have a 3x squared. That doesn't help me eliminate anything. But the constant is negative 8, not negative 2. So A is out of the running. Now, to find out what that middle number is, remember you have to combine any terms that are alike. The 3x squared is the only x squared. The minus 8 is the only constant. But when you combine your x's, combine meaning add, 6x plus negative 4x is positive 2x. So I want you to take some time now and try 7 and 8, or sorry, that was 7. Try 8 and 9 and 10. They're all multiplying, and I'm going to post the answers in just a moment. So pause the video, try those ones, and then I'll post the answers. Okay, guys, here's the solution to number 8. Please check to make sure that you did it correctly. If you knew that this was 8x squared, you can eliminate answer choices A and D because they had 6x squared. The key here is to make sure that you add those like terms correctly. Negative 28 plus negative 2 is negative 30. Number 9 was also a multiplication problem, if you didn't know. When you're asked to find the area of something, that means length times width. So you're multiplying 2x plus 1 times 3x plus 5 to find the area of this wall mural. Same process though, multiply to get each box, combine the like terms, which I've highlighted in yellow to get 13x, and you get answer choice C. And lastly, number 10, this one was a little bit trickier because you had a binomial, 2 terms times 3 terms, but you still multiply to get all the boxes. This was a drop down, so you had to select between these 4. 3x cubed, remember x squared times x is x cubed. Combine your x squareds to get negative 8x squared, combine your x's to get 16x, and your constant was negative 8. Please stay tuned for the next video that will cover the rest of the question.